Hey everyone, we're here at Escape the Rat Race 34 tonight. We're in a brand new location, which is WeWork Chancery Lane, and I'm here with Daniel.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome, Daniel. Now, Daniel, we recorded a podcast for Escape the Rat Race Radio about a year ago.
Yeah.
I've had tremendous feedback ever since, and when we moved here, I thought, who can I get to make a real splash? And I thought, Daniel's the man.
Thank you very much.
So I really appreciate you coming, and I'd love to know, what are you going to be talking about tonight?
I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I think everyone knows the positive side of entrepreneurship. I'm going to go into the harsh truths, the things that are a bit difficult about entrepreneurship, let people know what they're going to get themselves into. I'm then going to go into what to expect from the entrepreneur journey itself, and then how to manage the entrepreneurial mindset, the ups and downs, so that you get so that you achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah, and I think the crowd here tonight are in that transition between, 9 to 5, building a business, and it's tough.
Yeah, and by the way, this is the first time I've given this talk, so who knows how it'll go.
Exclusive. So anyway, let's get ready and let's do it.
Well, good evening. Thank you very much for having me here. So for those of you I haven't met before, my name is Daniel Priestley. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter or any of those sorts of things if you'd like. I actually didn't get myself into the rat race, which was kind of cool. I had my first entrepreneurial experience at age 10, about a little bit younger than you guys. And basically what happened is my mum set fire to the kitchen. She had smoke damage, all sorts of things around the house. And I decided I was going to clean all those things. I was going to run a garage sale. On the night before the garage sale, I laid everything out perfectly for people to come around and buy things, and I handed out flyers around the neighborhood. And then I realized I didn't have enough stuff, so I went to all of our neighbors and I asked them to do a 50-50 joint venture consignment agreement with me to put things into my garage sale on a 50-50 joint venture. We did the joint venture. I ended up selling all their stuff and all of my stuff. I made $300, which was enough to buy a Sega Master System and a BMX, which is like a BMW for a 10-year-old idea. And he said, listen, the company lost money last year. We can't afford to pay you anything. And I said, well, here's an idea. What about make me a shareholder in the company? And he said, listen, if you want shares in a company, go start your own. And I was like, cool, actually, I haven't thought about that. I started something called Dent. Dent is a business accelerator. We run accelerator programs for 2,500 entrepreneurs around the world. We have offices in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Singapore, London, and in the USA. Second one, no one comes to save you. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they get themselves into some sort of trouble, they get themselves into some frustration, and they kind of have this belief that someone's going to come along, there'll be some white knight, he said. So this thing that was meant to be a big win actually comes with strings attached as well. So keep in mind that there's no big wins, there's incremental progress, and you've got to actually get out there and win every week. You've got to win all the little battles, and when you win lots and lots of little battles, you end up winning, or other people will say that you've had a big win when you win a lot of those. I kind of think it's a little bit like if you take sort of Formula One. You've got to win lots and lots of go-kart races before then you get behind the wheel of a slightly more powerful car, and you've got to win lots and lots of Formula Ford races, and then you get to kind of get up to Formula One, and then you've got to keep winning. But it's lots and lots of little things that add up to the big stuff. The thing that I really want to encourage you to keep in mind when it comes to business is that very, very, very rarely do people buy stuff. People need sales calls. They need to be contacted. You need to do the following up, and that's the reality of most businesses. So if Rolex needs salespeople, and Apple needs salespeople, and Google needs armies of salespeople, and Microsoft needs armies of salespeople, you are not going to survive in business if you will not pick up that phone and make the sales and call people back and do the sales as well. So in order to do the work you love, you must win the work you love. So I know another entrepreneur who came back from Bali, a great friend of mine who's very, very good at entrepreneurship. And he comes back from Bali and he says, hey Dan, I need to make some money. I want to spend a little bit of time in the UK. Have you got any, when you go networking, have you got any business cards that you collect? And I said, yeah. He goes, do you ever just throw those in a shoebox? And I said, yeah, I totally throw those in a shoebox. And he said, can I get that shoebox? And I said, yeah, sure. So he gets the shoebox of I don't know, 70, 80, 100 cards, and he just gets a shoebox and he gets a Kellogg's cornflakes box, and he gets a little kind of like cooking baking tray, and he sets up this thing in my kitchen, and he just spends the day on the phones calling through all of the people in my shoebox and just making a little system: leads, appointments, presentations, sales, leads, appointments, presentations, sales. 5 million. Here's the weird thing: of the 7,000 companies that out of 5.5 million, it's 0.1%, but makes up 53% of all the revenue that gets made in the UK. So this idea that corporates are behemoth, out of touch bureaucracies that don't know how to perform is completely inaccurate. Journey. By the way, the reason so few businesses make it is because for most people it's a journey of trial and error. They start a business and they've never done this before. They've never grown and scaled a business. Most people come in and get their first job for one of these businesses, and then they end up working for one of these businesses. Now, what happens with most people when they're starting is that they think back to what their workplace was like, and they go, oh, I know what I need. I need employment contracts. I know what I need. I need marketing materials. I need IT support. I need something to do with hiring people. I need something to do with an office. So I've got to set up an office. So they're thinking about all the stuff that was in their environment when they were working for a corporate. Your idea, you need to get people to engage in 50 surveys where they tell you, this is what's cool, this is what I like about it, this is what I don't like about it, here's what I would hope that you're going to do, here's some of the ideas that I think you should consider. All Richard Branson does, even though he's got 80 different companies, is he pitches the Virgin brand, he publishes content, he chooses which product Virgin should represent, he raises the profile of Virgin, and he does the partnerships. So, everyone knows exactly how the thing works. They measure everything, they're high performance on everything, they're improving everything, and ultimately they're building something that's incredibly valuable. So you've got the very old primitive reptilian part of the brain, the mammalian part of the brain, and then the neocortex, which I call the visionary or the entrepreneur. Primarily, this part of the brain's interested in safety, survival. This one's interested in training and comfort and doing things that it knows how to do. And this one's interested in vision and reverse engineering the future. Get out of monkey mode. It's very, very easy in a corporate environment to be in monkey mode. Mix up your peer group. Hang out with people you don't normally hang out with. Go and meet up with people who are outside of your usual sphere. So mix the peer group up. Expose yourself to new ideas. Embrace new types of problems that you don't commonly come across. So what I'll do is I'll give you just a moment to think about questions that you've got. Hand in the questions that you've written to the aisles, and then we'll do some question time. Thank you very much. Cool.